Guys, welcome back to the channel. Right now, I'm going to talk about what happened last night between Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua. I'm not going to lie to you, lost a little bit of money. I definitely thought Jake Paul was going to get knocked out of there in the first couple rounds. So, I say that to lead into my first point. I want to point out a few things that Jake Paul did correctly, and a few things he did incorrectly. A lot of things he did incorrectly, but he clearly got an IQ for the game with the amount of fights that he has. No amateur experience. Less than 15 fights as a pro. He's dodging certain punches. He saw a few punches coming from Joshua. He clearly knew how to dodge his right hand for as long as his stamina allowed him to keep up with it. But obviously, with the limited experience that Jake Paul has, he could not keep up that strategy very long without tiring himself out as he did. I think after the third or fourth round, you saw his legs just started moving a little slower. I don't know if his strategy was to win. I know he was trying to land some big shots, and he actually did land a few big shots, but it seemed like he was content surviving. But when you fight a style that you're not used to fighting, you can train for it for 8 weeks. But if you've never fought that style, or it's not a part of your routine to train to fight that style, it's going to tire you out way more than you expect. You know, when he fought Chavez Jr., he did move around the ring a little bit, but he also he pick-shotted, he jabbed, he would throw that right hand, that is right hook, because, you know, he loves that right hook. He'd throw that right hook over the guard and land it, and that's kind of what he was trying to do when he would land that right hand, was kind of be picky with the jab and then throw that right hand, that right hook right over his guard, and it worked a few times. But because of his lack of experience, and because I feel like at this point he's going to rush big fights, I don't see him becoming champion. At one point I kind of did, because I saw the potential there. At one point, if they had matched him more carefully, he definitely could have had the potential to be a world champion. But you know, most fighters, when they fight, you know, they're trying to get into the big fights, and because of his situation and circumstance, he didn't have to really fight his way to the big fights. He could fight big fights if he wants to, or he could take little fights if he wants to. He just has that name. So, you know, credit to him. He was able to dodge a few times with turning the head. One thing I did notice, that he tried to do like the shoulder roll thing. What people need to understand, when you're doing that shoulder roll thing, it's a mastery of many different movements with your hands, right? You're putting the shoulder in front, you're twisting, you're parrying, you're bending the hip, and you're dodging at the same time. You have to be 9 out of 10 in all those departments. Blocking with the shoulder, blocking the body punches, parrying, and dodging. Sometimes you have to dodge and parry at the same time. If you just do this a lot, you're just going to get red. You're going to get red and you're going to get set up. The moment you slow down just a little bit, you're going to get tagged up. Adrian Broner had a very similar problem. Adrian Broner wasn't so big with the parrying. He just, you know, boom. You just wanted to look at you, do this, and somehow, hey, you're not going to hit me. You're going to get hit. You know, you're going to get hit. Look at what James Toney used to do. He used to parry those shots. He would boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? You have to be 9 out of 10 in all those departments. That shoulder roll, sometimes I feel like it's a kind of a lazy way certain fighters want to take when they start getting a little tired, because they're able to drop their hand a little bit and just use their feet. You know, you're going to get set up that way. So, if he wants to do that shoulder roll, he got years of work before he could try to fight in that style. So, where does Jake Paul go from here? Get another big fight with a big name, probably lose. I don't think he's going to be world champion at cruiserweight, I'll tell you that. Not with that style of fighting. They're a little faster at cruiserweight. You know, let's call it what it is. You know, Joshua's a big heavyweight with hand speed that is a little lackluster for those lighter weights. You know, heavyweights, he's not that slow, but, you know, I think Jake Paul knew, hey, he's a little slower than some of the opponents that I've been facing, and he tried to exploit it, but obviously he just didn't have the experience or skill at this time to come close to exploiting it. Anthony Joshua, he definitely was rusty in there. He couldn't establish that jab early on. It was a little shocking, to be honest. But he knew that right hand was going to land. I think he saw Jake Paul trying to do that shoulder roll type movement, and he was like, I'm going to set this dude up, and I'm going to get him out of there. I do think he felt a little pressured early on too, especially when Jake Paul kept falling on him. In that moment where he hit him in the back, man, I'm not going to lie to you, I kind of laughed at that a little bit. He's definitely getting frustrated. I think Anthony Joshua has shown his frustration a few times, including the second Usyk fight after it, where he was acting like a little, little childish, and hey, everybody's been there, but you could definitely exploit that sometimes. Where Anthony Joshua goes from here, he called out Tyson Fury. If Tyson Fury is 80% of what he was, I don't see Joshua handling him. He's going to take advantage of that frustration, honestly, because Joshua's he's not as fast as Fury, He fought Jake Paul. I think this was a perfect big cash fight to take off the ring rust. And, what more can be said about, Olympic gold medalist, two-time heavyweight champion, fighting a YouTuber with less than 15 fights. He looked good knocking him out, but he really didn't look that good. Blame it on ring rust, blame it on age. Hey, hopefully he steps it up for his next fight, because the big boys, Tyson Fury included, will probably take advantage of that. So, with that being said, Jake Paul did better than I expected, because I actually put money on it and lost it. So, I don't see him competing on the top level, and Joshua competing on the top level, perhaps winning on the top level. I don't know. I would like to see him fight Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder and call it a day. Deontay Wilder could, I know he's scheduling him versus Usyk next. I don't think he's going to win that fight at all. He might even get knocked out in that fight, to be honest. But if Deontay Wilder could lose that fight, win another tune-up fight, and get the Joshua fight, those two could, duke it out and then retire afterwards and cash out, So, that's my take on that. It was an entertaining fight while it lasted, Till next time, like and subscribe, all right? We're talking boxing over here.